Yeah. 9/11 was not caused by the Jews, it was caused by motherfucking news. So, to start off, I just want to say that I fuck a lot. My dick has a life of its own, and it's like its own person that's still attached to me, like it's a Siamese twin. It's so fucking large. And when I smell a pussy, when I see a woman, then my dick has to go over and say hi.
Sex.
Because it's so fucking horny. I'm not even horny. This dick is horny. I'm not horny. I don't need sex. But my dick wants it, and it keeps making me have sex. And to be honest, this dick, this thing right here, this big, thick, meaty schlong, this thing is basically community property at this point. But my heart belongs only to the art of fucking. Because I don't need sex, I just need to fuck. Two different things, my guys. Two different things. To fuck a woman properly, that is an outright art. And a lot of you haven't mastered it. So after I started watching Gerber Johnson, my sex capabilities went up through the roof. Like, I can just fuck. I don't even need to nut anymore. And most women, they get unsolicited dick pics, and when I'm out in town, I get unsolicited blowjobs. Like, honestly, help me. So why are we as a society so obsessed with sex, right? Even the churches are seemingly constantly discussing something related to sex or to fucking, and we see two waves colliding, one of which preaches freedom of sexual expression and generally pushes for sex to be more prevalent in society and more widely accepted, like it's not a big taboo. But there's this other wave that pushes chastity, that hates porn. At one time you can feel like you are being pushed into losing virginity, like you have to find someone to fuck. Like if you're 18 and you haven't fucked anyone yet, you've failed at life, you know, that whole societal pressure thing where people tell you that you have to have someone and you have to basically get someone to fuck you. Older men who are still virgins, not like older men like 50 plus or 70 plus, but I mean like older men as in their late 20s who are still virgins. They are shamed for being virgins. When someone in the society, if they start enjoying sex too much and they start hooking up with people and they start fucking around, then they will be shamed as a slut or as a, what's it called, whoremonger? I don't know, what's the, like a pussy chaser? Yeah, I'm not a pussy chaser. I'm a pussy chasey. Like, women chase me through the town to give me some pussy, and I got so much fucking pussy that my bedroom has turned into an animal shelter at this point. Unless you want to stay single for the rest of your life and just fuck around, which, I mean, technically there is no shame in being single. I will discuss the hookup culture later, but the solution to losing your virginity and to having someone you can love and someone you can hold and not having someone to do that with, the solution to this situation then is to get a partner who has probably the same sexual cravings as you. Like me finding a goth dummy mommy or whatever the fuck my generation is into right now. So now that we are discussing sex, because that's the thing everyone loves, everyone likes, we've somehow found a partner. They have the same sexual cravings as you. They love the same kind of sex. They have the same kind of fetishes. You are like two puzzle pieces. But when you're sexually compatible with that person, does it automatically mean that it's a good relationship? So let's disregard having children and all that shit about your shared future together, and let's focus solely on that relationship part. What do you base your relationships on? That's the important question. What do you base your relationship on? Is it sex or is it communication? Because a lot of relationships that have really good sex won't last. And why? The source is that I made it the fuck up. Why do I consider communication more important than sex? Because in terms of sex, you can always make some compromises, but in terms of communication, you need to work on that. And sex is basically just communication about your sexual desires. It's nothing less, nothing more. You can have great sex, but you can have poor communication. So let's say that you and your partner, you've been together for 4 years. It's been really nice. The sex has been really good. But there is a major problem there, and you don't talk that much. You just fuck, you have great sex, and that's it. That's where the story ends. Basically, to have a good relationship, you don't need just good sex. You need good communication, because if you have good communication and there is bad sex, then you can communicate it out. You can work on things. But if you don't have good communication, you're both going to be unsatisfied for the rest of your fucking life, and you're gonna be old and miserable, and then you're gonna break up like 10 or 15 years later, and you're gonna get divorced, and she gets the kids and the car and the fucking house, and you're gonna have a one-bedroom apartment shared with 2 immigrants, and you're gonna have just a dirty mattress and Karen, please come back, I miss the kids. I've seen a lot of research in terms of how much people fuck in their older age, and at some point in your 50s you're gonna start fucking less, which is about halfway through the marriage. So I've seen this a lot of times. Like, people stop having sex, they get older, maybe their bodies don't perform as well, or they don't have the sex drive they used to have when they were young, and it all goes away, and basically what's left? Well, it's nothing, because your communication is trash. And usually this doesn't happen to women. Men suffer from this a lot, but men start experiencing things like erectile dysfunction. This can absolutely fucking nuke the male sexual activity. What I want to say by this all is that sex is important in relationships, but what is even more important is good communication. Sex is not bad. Sex is not bad. Sex is great. Sex is why we are here. Sex is fun. Sex can be cool too. But the problem is that some of y'all be doing sex too much. But what about all these fucking relationships? Like, you look outside nowadays, or you look at the internet, and you see people complaining about modern relationships. You see people complain about how their partners are suck dick. Like, basically the whole boomer humor thing where I hate my wife came back. We young people have a lot of troubles getting into relationships, because nowadays the relationships we young people have are situationships, friends with benefits, etc. What the fuck happened to people just loving each other? What, for real, what the fuck happened to people just asking each other out on a date and just saying, yeah, I like you? Why do we suddenly have so many issues with dating? Men are too afraid to approach women, and women are starved for attention from men. There is this funny study from 2018, which is at this point 7 years old, but it shows that 47% of men are afraid to even ask a woman out due to being afraid of rejection or ridicule. Which is sad, because it was not even that long ago. It was like maybe 15 years ago, when things were still relatively normal. We men weren't as afraid to approach women, because we knew that if you just talk to a woman at the bar and she rejects you, or when you talk to a classmate and she rejects you, then it's gonna stay between you two. Maybe she will tell it to a couple of her friends, but that's about it. But nowadays, since we have social media, she can just post that shit and you're fucked. And you're fucked for the rest of your life, because when you go to approach another woman and she's like, okay, I can go on a date with you, and she just punches your name into, or your handle that you give her, she just punches it into search, and she sees all these posts about how you creepily approached another woman, then she's gonna be like, nope. She's gonna nope out of there. So yeah, social media sort of ruined that shit, because rejections are being posted now online for the world to see, and men don't want that. So we stopped approaching women. But the less men approach women in real life, the more everyone else moves to apps, because apps are simpler. Apps have that advantage of, oh, I like this girl, I like what she has on her profile, right, swipe that, and that's it. Basically, you just approach the woman. The whole courtship process has now been reduced down to a movement of a fucking finger. But nothing will ever really be as attractive or as fulfilling as that in real life attraction, or being approached or being told straight to your face that somebody likes you. As a result, everyone fucks less while they are obsessed with sex more, because social media talk about sex constantly. We all watch porn. Some of the porn women watch is really fucked up, like... Seriously, some of the porn and media women have been watching that. It's really fucked up, and it's crazy scary how popular it is. Like, seriously, women watch some fucked up porn and have some fucked up fantasies. And the reason why the situation is as shit as it is because there's a giant ideological difference between men and women. I think you all have seen the charts where it's like, men are becoming more conservative while women are becoming more liberal and such and such. And ever since social media really started getting popular, everyone became more liberal or like centrist. Nobody really gave a fuck. Suddenly, in like the past 2 or 3 years, this trend reversed and men started becoming more conservative. Men started going to churches. Men started working out. Men started approaching religion. Men went back to God, basically. They turned to Jesus. And women are somehow becoming more liberal leaning in their views, which is not a weird phenomenon to see. If the ideologies of men and women don't align, then they most likely won't date each other. And men now really want to have someone who shares their values, who is not like them, but who they know that they can trust and that will be communicative with them. That's the whole thing about communication again. Women don't want weak men. Women want strong men. Women want strong, muscular men that are somehow liberal. He must be muscular. He must have a shitload of money. And I understand that in this age you need a shitload of money to take care of a family. But he needs to be liberal, he needs to be a feminist, he needs to be muscular, he needs to be masculine, he needs to be a true man's man. Well, yeah, but liberal men aren't all that, and you can usually find these qualities in like Christian or traditionally conservative men or whatever the fuck. You can find it on the right side of the political spectrum, and that's what women don't want to accept. The fact that all these qualities that they want are found in men that are on the opposite side of the political spectrum. And women are having these expectations because they've been conditioned by media to have them. And not just by media, but also by social media and by various influencers and such. Women are being encouraged to embrace their more toxic, picky, and materialistic sides, while men are being encouraged to go in the exact opposite direction. And another reason why this great gender divide exists is because men no longer trust women because of all the social media posts that promote distrust of the other gender in order to generate clicks and ad revenue, because we fall victims to the same shit. You women are being told by your favorite influencers or whatever the fuck, you are being told that you need a strong man, kick him to the curb. When he doesn't behave like you want him to behave, then you can change him for another one. And in most cases you have like 2 or 3 other guys on the roster. Men are being told also this fucking lie that all women are whores, they just want your money, they don't want your love. And it's all fucking lies. Everything I just said about women and their media, it's also a fucking lie, because not all women are like that, and not all men really believe this shit about women. A lot of male-focused influencers really push this distrust of women in men. Yes, those things are that we men hear about you women, they are to a certain degree true, but they are not true overall. And that's what these male influencers want men to think, because they want to make them distrustful of women so that they can buy their fucking stupid courses on how to make money and how to focus on themselves and such and such. It's all horse shit. That pure research that I had here, yeah, that's 47% of men are afraid to even ask a woman out. I think that this happened because of social media and how everything is going viral. When one guy approaches a woman in a really shitty way and he goes viral, it changes the perception of a couple of men. So one rejection now fucks up like 5 other guys at least for life. And it's horrible because we shouldn't be afraid of approaching women. Like, we shouldn't be afraid of rejection. We shouldn't be afraid of ridicule. And we men certainly shouldn't think all these toxic things about women. She's not gonna let you hit, bro. I know, there is no she. I don't talk to women. I'm afraid of women. All this social media bullshit is basically creating just more divide between men and women. Again, most women are not like that. Most men are not like that. It's just social media algorithms showing you shit that keeps you engaged, that keeps you commenting, that keeps you staring at your fucking screen and keeps you glued and keeps you divided. It's manufactured division is what it fucking is. How do we solve this shit? Both men and women need to stop engaging with it all. Like, stop giving a shit about it. Like, what I've noticed on Instagram is that if I, like, it knows what sort of content I like, and so it keeps throwing me that content in, like, rotations. And if I engage with a new video that it tries to, like, sneak in, like, new genre of video, then and I watch it a couple of times and maybe comment on it, then it shows me more of these videos. And that's what social media is doing to you. So if you start ignoring this sort of content, your social media will stop showing it to you. These people will stop being promoted. These people won't get your attention. They will fade into obscurity. Like, if we all collectively decided to stop following, like, relationship gurus and, like, all these female influencers that talk about male secrets or whatever, 5 years the society would be okay and the dating scene would be okay. In 5 years. That's just my wild estimate, but I seriously believe that these influencers that talk about how women and men are horrible, that they did more damage to the dating scene than anything else, really. Like, they are the main cause of why Gen Z is so fucked. And another thing with all these situationships and shit, like, what the fuck happened to just loving each other? Like, just telling somebody, I love you. Just love each other, for fuck's sake, is what I want to say. And stop engaging with hookup culture. Stop watching porn. And don't be a piece of shit. That's all I'm trying to say. Just be a genuine person and don't be a piece of shit. That would be it for today's video. It's been nice making this shit after such a long break, but we will be back soon with more videos. I have a couple of scripts ready, and yeah, that's about it. Bye.